guys, today I'm doing a book review, kind of like I promised last week. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. The book series I want to review is called Skulduggery Pleasant. These are just 5 parts. There's, I think, 11 parts in total now, plus a spin-off, plus a short stories collection, and I have all of them, but they weigh a ton, and I really didn't want to pick that shit up. So, short intro. Skulduggery Pleasant is a series, well, it's kind of complicated, so there will be 3 series from what I know, like 3 book series. The first one was kind of for younger readers, I guess, and it has 9 parts. The second series has 2 parts. It's just started coming out like last year, and it's gonna be for teenagers, young adults, and I think the author Derek Landy said that he plans on making a 3rd series after that, which will be for adults. So apart from those 11 parts, so the 9 of the first series and the 2 of the new series, there's a short story collection called Armageddon Outta Here, and I have that too. And there's a spin-off with one of the main characters that kind of says what's been going on between 2 other books called Maleficent 7. And yeah, but I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm just going to talk about the series as a whole. So what is this book series about? It's about a girl named Stephanie. In the first part, she's 12, and then her age progresses with every book. In the new series, I think she's like 25 something. Her name is Stephanie, but she takes on the name of Valkyrie Kane. So in this world, there's magic, obviously. And this is the newest book, Midnight. So this is Valkyrie, and this is Skulduggery Pleasant, so one of the other main characters, and he's a skeleton. So Valkyrie, Stephanie, I'm gonna get to the name thing in a moment, so just give me a bit. Valkyrie's, Stephanie's, uncle dies at the beginning of the first book, so this is not a spoiler, it's literally the first sentence of the book. And she inherits his house, his money, his everything. And while staying there, someone wants to kill her, and Skulduggery saves her. And shortly after that, they kind of become partners. He's a skeleton detective. He works for the Irish Sanctuary, which is basically like the Ministry of Magic, kind of. And he's a detective. He solves crimes, and he takes her as his protege, and he teaches her magic, and she helps him out. And together, they solve crimes and save the world and all that shit, you know. So yeah, so that's basically the premise of all the books. When it comes to the name thing, as I mentioned, she starts off as Stephanie, but in the first book she takes on the name of Valkyrie Kane. In this world, everyone has 3 names. They have the name that they are given, they have the name that they take so that other people can't use your given name against you, and then they have their true name. And nobody knows your true name, not even you. I mean, you can find it out, but it's very hard. And if you do, if someone else finds it out before you, they can use that name to control you. So she takes on the name of Valkyrie Kane, so no one can use her real name against her, the name her parents gave her, because if you don't have a taken name, they can also use the name your parents gave you against you. So that's generally the premise of all the books. I don't want to get into what each part is about, because oh man, that would be a really long video. I just want to talk about why I really like this series. As you've probably figured out by now, it's kind of a fantasy detective crime story with a lot of humor, and as I mentioned, the first parts are kind of for kids, although the 2 newest books, they're rated 13+, but there's some really deep shit going on in them, and I'd rate it like 15+ or something, but that's just my opinion. The reason why I like these books, the first reason, though, they are very witty. The humor is amazing, the author is witty, he's funny, the dialogues he writes are just hilarious, and you can really have a great laugh with these books. If you're stressed, they're good to just take your mind off of things. They're an amazing quick read, but they also really take you into the world, and you just don't want to get out. They're amazing. The second reason why I really like these books, let's classify them a bit as young adult, because the topic is similar to a lot of young adult books. There's a girl and suddenly she's, you know, taken to a whole different world. She doesn't existed, and you know, and all this shit happens to her. So, starting off with Harry Potter, because I feel like that Harry Potter was one of the first books of this kind, to be honest, that showed up. You don't really show the psychological consequences, what happens to those people. I think the only book I've read and heard of, really, where you can really see the psychological consequences of what happens to the main characters are the Hunger Games, with Katniss getting PTSD. So, spoiler alert for that, sorry. And it's normal, because after you've been through shit like that, of course you'd get PTSD. And the same is with these books, as in Harry Potter and, you know, all those other things. You don't really get anything. Sure, Harry worries, sure, Harry's scared, but come on, somebody tries to kill him in every single book. Spoiler alert once again, sorry. And he comes out feeling psychologically grand. Like, no PTSD, no depression, no anxiety, no bloody anything. And I love Harry Potter, don't get me wrong, one of my favorite book series ever, but no psychological consequences. I'm not really mad about that. I'm just saying that the reason why I like this book is that it does show the psychological consequences. So, Valkyrie, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler alert, I don't want to get too much into the plot as to not to spoil it, but it's just something I want to mention. In the newest parts, Valkyrie does have PTSD symptoms. She definitely has anxiety symptoms, depression symptoms. I'm saying symptoms because I don't know whether she has any of those disorders. Of course, you can't have PTSD, anxiety, and depression, because anxiety, when you have PTSD, you are both kind of depressed and anxious. But that's why I'm saying that she has all those three, because I don't know if she has any of them. Like, the author doesn't mention that she has any disorders, but you can clearly see that she is very traumatized by what has happened. And let's be honest, if you've been crime fighting and crime solving since you were 12, it's gonna have a lot of pressure on your psyche. You're not gonna be normal after that, okay? Let's be honest. And this is why I really like this book, because on one hand it's fantasy, and you have all those amazing things happening, but on the other hand it shows stuff like that. Also, I like how in the new series the author very comically covers some of the current things that are going on in the world, like the immigrant problem in Europe, or Trump. God, the way he covers Trump is so bloody hilarious, and it's so obvious it's Trump. Well, the immigrant problem is not covered in a hilarious way, because that's a really tough subject, but it is covered in the book as well, and I just really like the way he does it, because he doesn't push it too much, except for the Trump thing. You can clearly see it's Trump, but he doesn't really push it too much. He doesn't really want to make a very hard political statement, but it's there, and I think that it's great that he's finding an artistic way to talk about subjects like these. So in general, I'd like to say that this is a great book series for everyone. I think that kids as well as adults could enjoy it. I started reading Skulduggery when I was, I think, 11 years old. There were just 3 parts out back then, and I think it's definitely worth a read for everyone. It's a great book series. It's really amazing. It's one of my favorite. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you try to read at least one part, because it's definitely worth it in my opinion. Plus the characters are just amazing. They're so funny, and the character development is great, and it's just an amazing book. So yeah, please like, comment something nice, subscribe to my potato face, and I hope to see you all guys next time. Bye. Mwah.